Roasted mustard salmon with cabbage and carrots. I'm here in Lydia's Symphony Hall. That is my kitchen. We're continuing with the symphony of flavors. So a nice Savoy cabbage, we'll cut it in 4. So let's do half first and then again in quarters, just like that. This one. Okay, let's put this here. So here we are. Okay, now these are peeled carrots. Just cut them in kind of rough matchsticks, just like that. If you have baby carrots, you can put them whole. Let's put them right here. And as you can see, I'll set them just like that, and I will make the dressing for them. Let's start with the mustard seeds. A little bit of honey. Apple cider vinegar. Some oil. And enough oil because that's the dressing for the fish and the vegetables. Salt. And here I have thyme. I want to chop it a little finer. This will give it a lot of flavor. Let's mix it well. Let's dress it now. So you can see this is simple. You put this for about 20 minutes in a hot oven, 425 degrees, and then flip it over once and give it some more love here before we add the salmon, because the salmon cooks faster. So if you like your cabbage and carrots crisp, do it like this. You could add to it some wine. That adds flavor and a little bit of moisture so it cooks through. Or if you don't use wine, you can use just plain water. And you put it in a hot oven and we'll check with it in about 20 minutes. Let's see how it's doing. Here's an email. So Jeff and Sharon are asking, we were wondering if you listen to music while you cook or prepare for shows or write your cookbooks. Yes, Jeff, Sharon, I love music. I think music is an element that inspires me. So if I write, I put a symphonic music, nice and mellow, that I listen to, that it sort of enhances my creativity. And yes, combined with food, it's wonderful. All right. Halfway cooked. So let's finish it up. We'll nestle the salmon right in there. A little bit of salt on the salmon, and let's make a little bit of space for them. See, the cabbage is halfway there. The carrots are just about there. By the time the salmon finishes cooking, we are going to be having a great meal. Here we go. Here we go. This one fits in here. And some more of this in there. Lots of flavor in here. And you can see, 1 baking sheet to wash, and you have meal for 4, and a delicious meal at that. So the salmon would take about 20 minutes. The cabbage will be finished at the same time, and then we're ready to eat. So here's a video from Jane. Let's take a look.
I planted this Meyer lemon tree about 4 years ago, and it's really grown big. Which one of your fabulous recipes would you recommend using Meyer lemons?
Look at that tree. It is wonderful. I don't know where you are. You must be in California, but it's a beautiful tree. And you know, I have a potted lemon tree in my house, and I get about 6 to 8 lemons a year, and I cherish them. Meyer lemon are especially delicious. They're aromatic, they're sweet. And you know what? A simple dessert is the tiramisu. And of course, tiramisu is usually made with coffee. But I make it with lemon, with limoncello, and a syrup made out of this Meyer lemons with some sugar would be delicious. So how about a lemon tiramisu, Jane? And you look great in that hat, that color, that tree behind you. I am jealous. Salmon is ready, vegetables cooked. And you know, in cooking, you sense everything. And there is a little acidity of the cider vinegar coming out. So this is magnifico. Now, I will plate it for you. Okay, so here we are. The first thing, let's take a nice piece of salmon. a beautiful piece and an easy piece. You know, salmon, you touch it like that, and it has to have a little bounce, because if it doesn't have the bounce, it is overcooked. Okay, let's get the salmon right here. And Savoy cabbage. Okay, and then of course we have the carrots, just like that. A little plate for Lydia. Let me bring this to you. The beauty about cooking is just like a musician. You have all these notes, I have all these products, and then I put them together, makes a beautiful symphony, harmonizes whatever you want. So feel like an artiste when you're cooking. This is for me. It's a little bit of carrots and a little bit of cabbage. All right, and you can bring it just like that to the table. Now I want to sort of pick up on the thyme that we put in there. So here we have some great thyme, beautiful thyme. When you see all the chefs with all these herbs on top of their dishes, the herb is in their cooking, and the fresh branch of the herb is just to refresh the taste that's already in there. And when you're eating, you get that delicious aroma of fresh herbs. So let's taste. The cider vinegar has penetrated the cabbage and the salmon and has that nice sweetness, acidity. So, absolutely, we are ready to eat. And I invite you to Lydia's concert hall. Tutti a tavola a mangiare. Salute! For me, as a chef, sometimes cooking is like creating a symphony. I usually have music playing. I can't help but thinking, okay, what notes are playing in this risotto? Risotto is an easy one for me to compose, shall we say. The rice is mellow, like the violins in the background. And then I add in the crunchiness of little celery or carrots that brings the percussion in. And so not only is a symphony of flavor, but to me of sounds, and also of textures. So when you have one of my recipes that you like, and of course if you follow Lydia, you're going to be just fine. But let's say that you have different ingredients and you want to create a different tone. Think about the difference in the color and also the texture, the acidity, the punginess of lemon juice, the lemon rind. What is that? Is that the clarinet? Ultimately, it all turns into a great symphony.
E noi che figli siamo, beviamo, beviamo, beviamo. E noi che figli siamo, beviamo, beviamo, beviamo. E noi che figli siamo, beviamo, beviamo, beviamo.